Hey, Mrparka here to do a review. The movie I'll be reviewing is actually, I believe it was made in the late 90s. This is the 10th anniversary edition, late 90s, early 2000s. It is the Resurrection Game. Basically, I didn't know too much about the movie. I knew it was an independent movie by Happy Cloud Pictures, and it involved zombies. And I knew that the people who made it also did splatter, and they also were at Cinema Wasteland, and I've seen them there quite a bit. And I got this film to review, and I must say I was actually really impressed with it. It's shot on 16mm, and it does look a lot older than it's supposed to look, but to me, I enjoy that. A lot of people might not dig that. I'm a big fan of independent horror movies, of course, everyone knows. And I'd say this kind of has a look like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of something like Dead Next Door or Shatter Dead, both independent horror movies. Of course, this one has a lot more humor to it, and also has this kind of like political satire through the television and stuff like that. Kind of similar to RoboCop, how the commercials are just completely ridiculous and violent, or obviously just bullshit.
Hi, I'm Jackie Sawyer, National Commander of the NOE. We at the NOE are on call 24 hours a day to help you with your undead emergencies. But we can't do it alone. With the ranks of undead Americans rising every day, we need you to help us. So if you're an able-bodied citizen, 18 years or older, registered to vote, you can join the National Organization of Exterminators and help us fight for the rights of the living. If you think you got what it takes, we at the NOE would like you to join our team.
I join.
And you can too.
And this movie kind of has that. It also has this strange character who's like a talk show host who's clearly a giant plug from the government. He's Necro Phil, and he's like a puppet. He's really funny, really derogatory, really rude, kind of like a Beetlejuice thing, just straight in your face, saying all sorts of nasty shit.
Welcome back, cool friends. Our next guest is Christopher Pope. If you hadn't heard of him, that's because he writes things called books. Right, those things they forced you to carry in school before computers were invented. If you have heard of books and you still don't know who he is, that's because he writes horror novels. Scary stuff. Ooh, scary vampires, bad monsters. Ah! His latest book sold so badly, his own mother didn't even buy a copy. Let's have a cold, dead welcome for Christopher Pope.
Thank you, Phil. It's wonderful to be here.
The way your books are selling, it must be wonderful to be anywhere. Hey, Chris?
Yes, Evil Creatures hasn't done as well as we had hoped.
Hey, Chris? Didn't your agent make headlines last week? Unlike you?
I was told this wouldn't be addressed.
See, kiddies? It turns out that old Monster Maker's agent was so distraught over her only client's pitiful book sales that she swallowed a handful of sleeping pills and washed them down with a bottle of JD. And guess what happened? Zombie! That's right. And she wandered into a party in a high-priced apartment next door and bit two-time award-winning actress Del Sweet. And then what happened?
Well, actually, it didn't happen quite that way.
But that's what the newspaper said, Chris.
Basically, the plot for this film is really complex, really strange. There's a lot of twists, and I didn't expect a lot of the twists to come out there. In the beginning, it's kind of like a homage to Night of the Living Dead, and I'm thinking, it's going to be your typical zombie movie. But as it goes on, a lot more things come in. It starts the government, a lot of complex characters. The main guy is this guy who used to be an ex-cop. He used to run. He actually started NOE when the zombie epidemic took place because his wife was lost to it. Most of the time, zombies are really kind of just annoying, kind of useless, kind of like just a nuisance more so than a danger. Big groups, though, they are dangerous, of course, like in every zombie film, but they're not smart enough in this to understand that the big groups mentality and stay in a horde can actually do some damage. So most of the time they're just nuisances and they're really annoying. And so the lead character was the first guy to actually bring up a group called NOE. It's like an extermination group to kill the zombies. Of course, he's lost fate. He's a big alcoholic now. And there's also some other main characters. A lady who is used as a scapegoat for the government, when as in it's her fault for all this crap. And a couple other characters that are rogue exterminators, Amy Lynn Best, and another guy who's McForman is his name in it, or McForman, I can't think, but he's a great character. He's a crazy punk guy with like a mullet, just insane. He's really funny. And him and Amy Lynn Best have this like Amy Lynn Best, sorry, they kind of have like this really good relationship where they hate each other's guts, and they're constantly competing, love-hate, if you will, kind of like a bickering couple, and they work really well together.
This is getting us nowhere.
I agree. Go away.
Oh, forget it. Look, maybe if I kill you now, you'll stop tapping my calls.
Normally I'd agree with you, but I didn't tap your lousy call. I got my own call.
Oh, who in their right mind would call you?
Someone who prefers style and finesse to prancing nuns in slutty outfits.
Oh, you're the last one to talk about fashion. You actually got a call?
That's right.
Particularly nasty infestation? Zombies tearing up the place?
Zombies eating small children and grandmas? Big freaking commission?
Sounds familiar. Alright, I'm lowering my weapon. You do the same.
No, you'll shoot me.
I already said I was lowering my weapon.
You'll shoot me anyway.
I swear to God I'll lower my weapon.
There's no way I'm lowering now.
Look, on the count of 3, okay? 1,
2,
3.
Bet you're glad you got me along now, huh?
Let's just go.
After you.
Is this some weird belated attempt to be a gentleman?
Of course. And I'm still afraid you'll shoot me.
No, really.
And it starts, they're both, all of the government ends up trying to kill them, kill this whole group to get a whole bunch of people wiped out, and there's a big conspiracy going on, and pretty much the government starts controlling the zombies with cyber zombies, and other things start coming in that are really, I don't really want to give away too much of the movie, but Mike Watt's also in, he also directed it, and he ends up, if you like to watch Mike Watt take a lot of damage and get hurt, I don't know why you would, but if you want to see him die a whole bunch of times, or take a lot of damage, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say necessarily the little twist there, but yeah, this film actually had a lot of unique things about it, and had a lot of originality. And I think that a lot of the times, a lot of independent films, some people can't get past the budget constraints, but I think that if the film has a unique imagination, I think that the budget constraints should not be a problem. And I think this film has enough going for it that the budget constraints shouldn't be anything. I actually like the look of the film, and I think that a film that looks like that lasts longer than a film that looks digital. I think that the digital films are going to have a major problem later on in the future when everything looks the same and you can't really tell the decades apart that much. I think films that were made to look older, or films that are actually older, will actually do better. I think that it will capture more and evoke more feeling. But the special effects in this film are actually pretty decent for the film. I think there's some good shots, some good gore, some originality, a lot of action in here for a low-budget film, a lot of cool big-ass guns, a lot of weird-looking guns. It's supposed to take place in the future. And it's just a unique movie, and it's pretty much one of a kind. The cover's pretty crazy and wild out there. I don't know. The cover never sucked me in. I don't know why. But I thought it was actually a pretty good movie. I would recommend this. The special features include, there's 2 different commentaries on there, and there's a making of, which was really kind of I got a bittersweet type thing with a lot of familiar faces, especially if you're a Wastelander. They got 42nd Street Pete in there, Art Edinger, Scooter McCrane, who directed Shatter Dead, and also did this music for this, some of the music. Tons of people in there. Mike Flesher, who else is in there? The guy from one of the guys from Fangoria. So it's a really great release of the film, and it's actually a really cool zombie film that's unique and different, and has a lot of aspects to it, and a lot of stuff that you won't really expect. And it's something that I would recommend. I really enjoyed it. That was a pretty good movie. But thank you very much for watching. Have a good one. I got him. I got one now.
Yes, dear.
Henry, there are zombies in the basement!
Really, dear?
Henry, there are zombies in the basement of our home!
You said that, dear.
Henry, there are zombies in our basement on the day I host the Women's Auxiliary Luncheon. I have made a souffle. With all the banging they're doing down there, it is certain to fall. I do not want my souffle to fall, and I most certainly do not want there to be zombies in our basement for the Women's Auxiliary Luncheon. Now, what do you propose we do about this?
Well, guess we better call NOE.